Right, 27 March 2024, and today I'm going to be quickly going through what's happening following yesterday's discussion. And yesterday we discussed the move by General Chiwenga to take over projects that are failing, where contractors are not delivering. And there has been a massive development yesterday, and I need to position myself here properly. So there's been a massive development yesterday in which, after General Chiwenga visited that construction site at Parliament, this has angered Mnangagwa, ED, and he is not happy. So he has made massive changes to how this is happening. As I explained to you, the contractors are mostly aligned to ED and his family members and friends. So what has happened is ED was not happy that General Chiwenga was going out there and trying to fix the mess that has been created with the contractors. And last night, they made an announcement, and Chiwenga is no longer going to be at the front, or is no longer going to be in charge of overseeing the projects. So this is very important. You must listen to me very carefully here. Initially, Chiwenga had gone out to look at these projects to see how the contractors were delivering. And he had said the contractors should deliver by June. But what ED has now done is he split the portfolios around these projects into three. So there's now a portfolio on construction, a portfolio on finance, and a portfolio on communication. So you're not ever going to see Chiwenga again talking about these projects, because this has been taken away from him and it has been given to another ministry. So you're probably going to be seeing Genfan talking more about the projects, because obviously if Chiwenga is seen to be at the front, given the context of the fight between Chiwenga and Mnangagwa, it's not going to look good for Mnangagwa. So they've taken away this responsibility of communicating the issues to do with poor delivery. So this is all about poor delivery. And if the ministers were there before, they wouldn't have had to wait for Chiwenga to go and read the Riot Act to the contractors. So what is basically happening is that ED doesn't want the limelight to go on Chiwenga. He is taking away the limelight from Chiwenga by creating three committees, which are now going to deal with the projects around fixing what is currently broken projects and broken delivery by contractors that were appointed by Mnangagwa and his team. So these guys had failed. Chiwenga went in there to fix, but now they've appointed three committees to deal with communication, finance, and construction. So as I said to you, this is a massive problem. There is a massive problem in terms of delivery. Contractors that have been put in place by Mnangagwa are not delivering countrywide. Nothing is being finished. Everything that is started just ends up as stock and it never finishes. So Chiwenga had stepped in. He took the initiative to actually drive to that place and say to those guys, I need you to finish this work. And when Mnangagwa saw that, he was terrified. And he put in place a committee, and they had to have an emergency meeting yesterday where they announced the whole country that Chiwenga is no longer responsible for this. It's now going to be a committee of three. So my prediction, and you have to listen to this prediction very, very carefully, is that eventually, before the end of the next year, as we move towards the end of Mnangagwa's term, we are eventually going to see either Chiwenga getting fired or something bigger happening. So Chiwenga is not safe in his position after what has happened. I foresee Chiwenga being dismissed from his position sometime. Mark my word, keep this in a small file somewhere. Chiwenga is not going to be president very easily. He's not going to take over that position as the Zimbabwe president very easily. He is going to go through some other very difficult times before he can become the president of Zimbabwe. And Mnangagwa and his guys, they're not going to allow it. They're not going to allow Mnangagwa to, they're not going to allow Chiwenga to easily move into the position of president. It's going to be extremely difficult. and it will be one of the most challenging things that Chiwenga has ever done. This is going to be a big challenge for him, and ED is going to make sure that it doesn't become easy. So I think I'm done with this for today. Let's go to what else is happening. And there are very important developments countrywide. There are also very important developments in the region. Specifically, the ANC has failed to stop the MK from contesting. I was foreseeing a very big problem in South Africa if the MK had been stopped from contesting. So the MK is going to be on the ballot. Probably we're going to see Jacob Zuma over there as a candidate. I don't know if it's possible given his criminal record. But let's quickly run through this. I want to do this within the next few minutes. And as I said, the important story, our headline today is that Chiwenga is no longer the one who's going to be communicating on what's happening with the project that are failing. A committee, 3 committees have been set up, and these committees are in finance, construction, and communication. And obviously, they've done this so that Chiwenga doesn't have the limelight of having fixed the broken projects which Mnangagwa has put in place. I now want to look at the readmission of Kudzai Chipanga in ZANU-PF has been readmitted. And there has also been other developments in ZANU-PF. But today they're having a politburo meeting. So today they're going to be meeting. And let's see what comes out of that. You must watch ZANU-PF very closely. There's a lot that is happening. But it's all about succession. There's going to be a very big issue around succession. Chiwenga is not going to be allowed to move in or to succeed easily. So Chiwenga has to outsmart ED and his team, and they're not going to allow it. So it's going to be a fight, and it's going to be a public fight. It's going to happen in front of our eyes. This weekend, Mnangagwa is going to be at Mbungo, ZCC Mbungo for the Easter. So I think he's going to be presenting there with the guys at ZCC. I don't really understand the ZCC church. I don't want to see much to say much about those guys, but I think Mnangagwa and Bishop Mtende are quite close. They tend to work together. He's got a big church, and as I said to you, churches are going to be very big in Mnangagwa's plan. Mnangagwa is performing rallies. He's in rally mode right now as you speak. He's also meeting prophets, and he is getting closer and closer to Hubert Angel. The picture that I'm displaying to you here today is Hubert Angel with the Eswatini representative. I'm sorry about the fuzzy picture there. As you know that Hubert Angel is currently under fire from all angles because of what he has done to Prophet Java, and also in general there's now a petition. There's a petition that has been sent out to say Mnangagwa must deal with Hubert Angel. I'm going to publish that petition this afternoon. Only a few people have signed this petition, but I'm going to share with you the link of that petition. Hubert Angel apparently has stepped on a lot of toes, and people don't believe that he's supposed to be close to Mnangagwa. But I see he plays a very important and key role around Mnangagwa, Hubert Angel. So let's see how that is going to go. There's a petition to say Mnangagwa must get rid of Hubert Angel. But I think the petition must be Mnangagwa must get rid of all the goons that are around him, the people like Anna Scott, and Hubert Angel. The president must not be hanging around with such people at this particular point. But it's not anything to do with me. Other people have put out the petition, and I'll share with you this afternoon. Then let's look quickly at other developments. I want to look at Wigno. And Wigno is very interesting to me. But before I talk about Wigno, let me talk about Job Scholar. The Newsday is reporting that Job Scholar is sick, very sick. He's still receiving treatment. They say he's overseas. And this was said by the spokesperson of his party. You know, Job Scholar has got a new political party. And the spokesperson of his political party is Darlington Chingwena. And the political party is called the National Democratic Working Group. So they say that he's being treated overseas. But I just showed you this week that Scala was in South Africa. So I don't understand what's going on. Maybe we can get hold of Darlington Chingwena and you explain to us what's going on. In terms of what I said about Wigno, most people don't know where Wigno gets his powers. But I can assure you that I know, and I want to give you guys a hint. Wicknow is very close to Prophet Advocate Joshua. So if you wanted to know where Wicknow is getting his wealth and how he got so wealthy so quickly, you should look at his relationship with Prophet Advocate Joshua. And don't take what I'm saying to you here very lightly. Prophet Advocate Joshua, he's got a power of multiplication. So what I call a power of multiplication, what this means is that if you deal with Prophet Advocate Joshua, he's not like other prophets. So Anama Kandiwa, they've got a gift of healing. Other prophets have got a gift of foretelling what is going to happen. So, for example, Hubert Angel, he can tell you things that are going to happen in the future. Don't believe that Hubert Angel doesn't have those powers. He does have that power. But Prophet Advocate Joshua is the only prophet in Zimbabwe who's got the power of multiplication. So I know it because I deal with him all the time. If you want to test what I'm telling you, call Prophet Advocate Joshua if you've got an issue and you need money, right? If you need money and you want to be multiplied, go to Prophet Advocate Joshua. So that is where Anawikino are going. They're going to Prophet Advocate Joshua, and that is where he gets most of his success. And they keep going back there because they know what I'm talking about. So if you guys want to experience what I'm talking about, go back and just give a chat to Prophet Advocate Joshua. He's online there on Facebook, and he has given a number of prophecies that are still being fulfilled, and all of them are coming. And I'm happy that a few months ago I had a secret chat with Prophet Advocate Joshua, and I can tell you that what I'm recommending to you here, I'm not doing it very lightly. Have a chat with him and you see what I'm talking about. So Wicknow, despite all his problems, that is where he gets his power of multiplication. He gets it from another Prophet Advocate Joshua. This was taken less than a month ago. They were together. And their relationship started just before the death of the mother of Wicknow, Prophet Advocate Joshua, one of the most accurate prophets in Zimbabwe. But his power of multiplication is shocking. It's shocking at all, to all, in fact. So I am not marketing him here, but if you want to experience what I'm telling you about, you should do it. I was lucky enough that I invited Prophet Advocate Joshua to my house here in Johannesburg, and I spent a full 5 days with him before he was as known as he is now. So I tend to have the fortune of having had Prophet Advocate Joshua in my house. But I had the fortune of having with me. And you can obviously experience the multiplication that has happened to Gambakwe.com ever since that time. It has been amazing. Let's go to other stories. I want to go to Nelson Chamisa. This weekend they've restarted the program. So if you are a supporter of Nelson Chamisa, they've restarted the program. I'll be giving you details as these things develop. So a lot of things are happening behind the scenes. Then 7 ZCC members have been arrested in Beitbridge for assaulting a tshabangu supporter who is the vice mayor of Beitbridge. He was assaulted and the police have arrested 7 of them. So we'll be following that story to see who has been arrested and what is going to happen to them. Then I want to take you through some pictures. Let's go through some pictures. So the Zimbabwe junior hockey team. Is it hockey or squash? Let's see. Squash or hockey. I think this is the hockey team. They're asking for assistance. You can go and look at this story in the H Metro. Then the deputy board member or chairman of ZANU-PF has visited H Metro. You can see Robson Sharuko here. The specific reason why I put this picture here is I never knew that Robson Sharuko was still here. This guy is one of the most respected journalists in Zimbabwe. Like for the past 20 years, he's been in this game, and I think that's why H Metro is doing so well. I think these guys, they actually deserve to be much higher up. And you can see Pikirai Deketeke there at the center. These guys are getting a bit old. when I was in Zimbabwe, they were quite young. And then we have the Zimbabwe Prison Service. They've received a donation from Tel1. The reason why I want to show you this picture is because of the suffering that is going through the officers at Zimbabwe prisons are going through so much. Look at that lady on the left and what she's wearing. Our officers, if you look at the clothes that they're wearing, they are now worn out. And this situation expands through the whole civil service. Police, soldiers, guys who guard Mnangagwa, all these people that walk around with ED, there is no program to assist them. And they're going through a very hard time. So I don't know how this is going to be solved, but everyone in the civil service, I get calls on a daily basis. Guys are struggling in government. It's no longer only the citizens that are struggling. It's also people in the civil service. It's shocking what's happening. Some of them are barely having anything to eat. And it has been shown that pensioners this week started earning $2.50. So you can see what I'm talking about. Uniforms of women and men in service becoming terribly worn out, and the government is not able to replace them. This is a serious situation. At Kurubi, they're going for days without water, and the situation is deteriorating. It might get to a point where they're going to fail to supply prisoners with food. So this is how bad it is. Sugar is now being donated to the prison service. Now let's go and look at Divine Lukula. Divine Lukula has gone and donated computers in Gutu. She's doing very, very well. This is the most richest woman in Zimbabwe with clean money. I think Zodom Kanja comes close, but in terms of clean money, she's the one with the clean money. She does very well. She's donated computers and opened a lab in Gutu. So let's see what the school is here. It's called the launch of the Mbuya Mary Simbi Computer Lab and Library in Gutu. So if you're in Gutu, she's done a great job. She's very popular. When you post about Divine Lukula on gamaku.com, she goes viral, like internationally. I don't know where the people come from looking for her. So that's amazing. And then let's look at the houses. I know you guys want to know the price of houses. Last week I showed you a stand, which is now costing 100,000. Now, there's a new development here. And I always put this for you on gabago.com for the guys overseas. West Prop has put out an advertisement for apartments, 1-bedroom apartment, starting at $100,000. So that's $2 million. Property in Zimbabwe is extremely expensive, but Borodo is a very nice area. You pay 30% deposit, which is 30,000, and then the starting price is 101. So you probably pay 2 million rands for this property, which I think is a lot, given the fact that in Zimbabwe you can't rent out these things. If you buy your house, I don't know about Borodo, maybe you'll probably be able to rent out, but this is the price range, 2 million for a 1-bedroom in Zimbabwe, right? So I think this is what we have today for the news, for the main news. Chiwenga has had his wings clipped by Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is very sensitive about the popularity that Chiwenga is getting. Chiwenga is very popular among guys in security, guys in fact, what I can say is Chiwenga is more respected by security than ED. That is basically how I can summarize it. So guys in the security services, intelligence, and so forth, if Chiwenga passes, most of them, they will fold their tails because I don't think in terms of ED to the security guys, they listen to him more. And if he goes to a place and gives an order, it's probably going to be followed. But when it comes to ED, what these guys do, they take chances. A lot of the people take chances around ED. So let's say, for example, a contractor, they know that he's going to move away. But Chiwenga akataura order kuti by June, this thing must be done. That thing will be done. And that is also causing a bit of friction between ED and Chiwenga to say, how come when you say something, everyone follows it? And when I say something, people just do as they wish. Because people are taking chances around Mnangagwa. They don't complete projects. And ED has to explain himself. pane munhu ari go to any project that it has started and tell me which one is finished. The Mbuyane statue had to be completed when Chiwenga went there. Right now, Mbudzi, if you send Chiwenga to Mbudzi, it will be finished. At the moment, that thing at Parliament is going to be finished because Chiwenga will be on top. But what they've done now to divide this responsibility so that Chiwenga is not in front is going to make it even worse. It's going to slow things down. Because you want to deal with the Vanuari around ED, most of them are chancers. They take the money and they run and they don't deliver. That is a big problem. So someone needs to enforce. And then let me go to Africa. So let's start with sports. The men's team, soccer team, and then South Africa Department of Education company in South Africa, one of the biggest, with 13,000 students. 13,000 students are stranded after they closed Educo. Company knows Educo. It's got 4 massive universities called Damelin, City Varsity, Lyceum, and the Kesa City Campus. They made the announcement yesterday, but the actual suspension was done over a year ago. The South African government communication is very poor, and they don't know how to deal with issues. So Home Affairs and the Department of Education, all these departments, they don't know how to deal with issues. So what they do, okay, someone is saying you're breaking. Okay, I'm so sorry about that, guys. I think my network is bad. So let's quickly wrap this up. As I said, I'm going to be having network issues because I'm traveling. So let's wrap this up. They've closed 4 universities, and then let's go to the issue of 1,000 Zimbabweans deported this week. 1,000 were deported because of the 69 that escaped. So that is what has happened in South Africa. And then there's a new report on immigration in South Africa. I'm going to ask the robot to read it for you today. So I apologize for my scratching video, and I'll try to get better network. This will probably happen next week when I'm back in office. I'll have a better network. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Let's recap by looking at the comments very quickly, and then I'll go away. I'm sorry about this network thing, and I don't want to be here when the network is not good. Mkoba MSC say Mangwana gamba ko report that ED akarowa Chiwenga nembamba. Azvite mkoba, azvite. ED ndiyana kuna kutorowa nembamba, but not the other way. What can happen is Chiwenga is gonna eventually get fired. Mark my word. If Chiwenga is going to get fired soon, before the end of Mnangagwa's term, because obviously you can't have 2 bulls in the same kuro. You can't. Mgoma Pitato is saying, of course you deal with him at all. The Gamba who can't doubt you since you know everyone and you know you've already had a chat with these people. Okay, I don't know the story in Mgoma, but let's go to Mgoma Robert. If Chiwenga managed to take over, he's likely going to work with Kasukuwere G40. Kasukuwere is no one. Is no one in the matrix of ZANU-PF. So Kasukuwere is no one, guys. In South Africa here, people respect Kasukuwere so much, and in Africa. So when I talk to people, they come to me and they say Kasukuwere, and I tell them Kasukuwere is no one. He's not going to be anything in the Zimbabwe government. You can mark my word. That guy is a coward. He can't go into Zimbabwe now. If he was going to take over, Kasukuwere was going to go to Zimbabwe. ED would never arrest him. They would do other things, but they will not arrest him. So Kasukuwere, the fact that he can't go to Zimbabwe, that disqualifies him as a candidate. Because Kasukuwere, what did he do? My charges are it's nothing. So why is Kasukuwere afraid of going to Zimbabwe? Do you think such a person can be president? No. And Kasukuwere, I know Kazuguti in Chifamba mu Johannesburg. He was supposed to meet me. And I was sitting here where we were supposed to meet. Kasukuwere went and set Uko with his guys to start to monitor me. And then they were scared of coming close. That's how bad and how scared Kasukuwere is. I'm not lying to you. Chiwenga, when he goes in, first they're going to fire him, and he's probably going to have a coalition with someone else. because ED, his time is over, his time is up. But the clash between Chiwenga and Mnangagwa is going to get worse and worse. That is going to happen. Then Mkoma Lang said that is about politics. It's a game of downplaying each other. Yes, but this one is the end game. What you're saying here is the end game. Chiwenga is saying, let's move, let's get things done. And Mnangagwa is not getting things done. This is not a joke. This is a very, very serious thing. And then Mkoma MS saying, Kaskwero will be arrested. He built 50-bedroom mansion. Maraka Yawanepi, its corruption is running away from. That is Mkoma Zvisungisi. With a 50-bedroom house Zvisungisi. Kana zvaisungisa totanga tasunga zodwa. Tapedza kusunga zodwa. Tosunga varidza rimpana waMnangagwa. Tichikwira tichisunga because munhu ane imba kanobva kusungwa. Kaskwere is not going to be arrested. That's what I'm saying to you. But he's afraid. He's very coward. And Kaskwere cannot build a team. Who is in Kaskwere's team? So if you want to see Muna as the president, someone who can't build a team, someone who's afraid. Because if you arrest Kaskwere and you've given him a proffer, just like you gave Job Scala a proffer, maybe they're afraid with Penamjere will be injected. But in terms of the actual damage to Mnangagwa, if you was to arrest Kaskwere, it is very big. That's why they scare him from outside. So I don't even want to talk about Kaskwere. Right now, the person to look at, to watch is Chiwenga. Chiwenga is next in line. And Chiwenga is very decisive, if you know what I mean. If he goes to a project like he did this week, everyone stops. Everything that is happening, Zuma Games, it stops. And ED, people are taking chances around him because they know he compromises his understanding. So ED would, right now, ED would, have you ever driven from Harare to Masvingo in a car to see what's happening in the project? ED has never done that. Chiwenga flies in a helicopter. I've seen Chiwenga flying in a helicopter. Achenda ku Mshakwago. And he flies past all these projects, Machekrano and so forth. I was actually at Machekrano when he was flying past. So he knows what's happening over there. Mnangagwa, I don't think he's ever done that. Kana timudza panapa kuti vanhu vako havana kupedza ma-projects. He thinks we're lying. I don't even know if he knows what his guys are doing. If he has ever been to those places to check with his own eyes, kuti, what exactly is happening. He's never done it. That is where he fails. That's why my projects are Mnangagwa achifela. Iko zvinhu anonovhura zvimakambani, like a flower company or whatever. It's got nothing to do with the government. Every day is outside. So he never has time to know what is happening in terms of the bigger picture. Mnangagwa never has time to look at the bigger picture. And he doesn't know what's happening. Mnangagwa does not understand what's happening. He only sees the bits that is told. That is the problem. And I think Mnangagwa is going to be known as having failed because he does not understand why people take advantage of him. For example, the guys at the RBZ, why they take advantage of Mnangagwa is they know Kuti, Ukampa have an explanation, he's going to accept it. Chiwenga is not accepting half an explanation. So if you give Chiwenga an explanation, you must make sure that what it is serious. What it is, you do it. That is the problem. ED, Ukampa have an explanation with our president. Currency adona because of my sanctions. Antovuma. And that is where things are failing for Mnangagwa. He accepts half an explanation. Mnangagwa Zimbabwe. Look what's happening with my officer's eye. And that's what I'm saying. Officer akapfeka uniform nekabhande kuma 1940. Kapera. That is the legacy yana ED kuti zvakuita sekuti tiri mumoza. Ukaenda kumoza kudhara pandaenda kumoza. It was terrible. The people that are there, that I was seeing walking around, it was a mess because of this failure to get things done, to properly use resources. to build my structures. So he's destroying my systems, Esiangaripo, ED. He's destroying all the systems that were there. And when Chiwenga tries to fix, they put on some committees so that he's surrounded by a bunch of people and he doesn't get the credit for what he's supposed to have done. But as I said, very soon, it's all going to come to a head between ED and Chiwenga. Mnangagwa's term is coming to an end, and it's going to be a failure in terms of what we have said here. Mnangagwa is going to be known in history as someone who failed to do anything in terms of completing his projects, in terms of developing and reviving the economy. So I'm so sorry, I'm enjoying my talking here. Enjoy my voice sound my network yangu yakadi iri weak. But it's going to be a long weekend. It's a holiday. So enjoy your holiday, guys. Wherever you're traveling, do not travel at night in Zimbabwean roads. Mkoma wakandifonera kandigamba kwe uri kutuka Mnangagwa. Unofanira kubudza vanhu kuti do not travel at night. Do not drive fast. That's my brother. Pane mukoma wangu anondifonera panapa achikomplaina kuti why uchitaura kuti Mnangagwa haasi kugona. Mukoma wangu Mnangagwa haasi kugona. Ari kuuraya vanhu nenzara. And ED has to fix the currency. But travel safely and do not go to these places zinama road akaipa at night, especially as you move closer to Harare at night. A lot of people are dying over there. So I want to wrap it up here. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and I appreciate everyone who is contributing to gambako.com. As you watch this video on your right on YouTube, there's a $sign. If you click there, that's how you donate to gambako.com. So my promise today to you, I'm going to ask the robot to read 2 documents for you. That is the immigration policy, South Africa, that they've put out. And I think that document has escaped me. But I'm going to produce those documents for you so that you understand what the robots say. I'm also going to put out the Constitution of Zimbabwe, because Mnangagwa wants to amend the Constitution. I'll ask the robot to read out the Constitution of Zimbabwe, because most of you have never read the Constitution of Zimbabwe. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask the robot to read it. Then when you're driving, you can listen to it. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching.